lights up for you.
What a wonderful, mesmerizing program. I congratulate Madhu Sen for all your effort, all your direction, and also, obviously, the performances of all the artists. It's good to see that this musical, although it's focused on the ceremony of today's Durga Puja, it takes into account the day-to-day problems which we are facing now. I just will go through a few things which I just picked up when I was watching. In the musical, the questions were thrown to the nature, river, mountains, etc. Not only the questions have been thrown, but also the musical gives us the answers to the questions. Very pertinent, these answers are very pertinent in the context of what we are suffering through the world at different levels, in different parts of the societies, the environmental degradation which we are all experiencing throughout the world, the economic unrest because of the globalizing forces. The musical also drew our attention to the glory and value of light through a very appropriate song. It also touched the devastations which we have seen in the context of Bruce fire, New Zealand shooting, and also it has shown some background in the present context of, in some parts of the world, the war, the preparation for war is absolutely very realistic, and I really again congratulate the director Madhu Sen for putting all these things together. The musical also provides many clues of hope by focusing on love, brotherhood, even the spiritual, the qualities of detachment, righteousness, and also the unity in diversity. Thank you very much. Let me now conclude this part of our program, which is the musical, and then we will listen to two video messages. First, from Pravrajika Atandraprana, Assistant Secretary Sri Sarada Mott and Ramakrishna Sarada Mission. And the second one from Pravrajika Vrajaprana, writer and speaker, Santa Barbara Convent, California. And then finally, we'll have the message from our President, Pravrajika Gayatriprana, which will be here physically. She will be providing her the message on this platform. Thank you.
And with Atandraprana, apologies, the sound is not very good. You're going to have to listen very carefully to try to understand what she's saying. It only goes for about 5 minutes, but you just have to persevere with that.
Tam Om Karthi कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Devotees of Sydney, I'm so happy to talk to you, at least on the electronic media. We are meeting after 1 year. The auspicious moment of Mother's coming has come. Let us invoke the powerful Mother's Shakti. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. This whole universe is nothing but a cosmic play of energy. Nothing is stationary here. Every particle is dynamic. Electrons are moving around the nucleus. Planets are moving around the sun. Even the whole solar system is moving fast around the nucleus of the Milky Way. We call this our universe. There are thousands of such universes. This cosmic dance is going on eternally. Even though today's science says that there is nothing called mass, they are all packets of energy. In fact, the whole world is floating on the ocean of energy. Mass is nothing but some glimmering particles on this ocean of energy. That too because of reflection of energy. Shakti worship is nothing but invoking this reservoir of energy inside each one of us. If we connect ourselves to this perpetual reservoir, there is no deficit of energy at any time. Swamiji said that there is a universal energy which identifies itself as divine principle, which he called as Mother Power Durga. Sister Niveta aptly said, to steady and guide men through this age of confusion, Ramakrishna and Vivekananda did mighty with Bodhon of Mother Russia. Our Vedic rishis saw and experienced this Mother Power everywhere in the nature, in the cosmic universe, even up to the surface microscopic particles. They were in the perfect harmony with the universe. They knew very well we came from nature and we should give back in a greater degree. Otherwise, we are called only selfish, not only selfish, but thieves, as per Bhagavad Gita. This is the cycle of life. A lady Rishi called Gargi realized this perfect harmony and oneness within herself and chanted the famous Devi Sukta, identifying with the universal mother power. Aham Rudrevi Vasubhi Shtaram Aham Aditya Rita Vishnu Devi. They saw Mother as a trinity, a loving Mother, enjoying the creation of millions of universes. And we can call her Ananda Rupini Ma again as a compassionate Mother nurturing the entire universe and call her Karuna Rupini Ma. Finally, as Samhara Rupini Ma, the Mother Kali dancing the dance of death and destruction, whom Swamiji called Nitya Rupini Kali. His praise, Nritya Chaya Tavadaya Amritancha Mata, Mother's hand lifted as blessings, causes a shadow which can even be death and destruction. It takes only a brave heart to understand and digest this naked truth and still worship Mother. Unfortunately now, we have forgotten this age-old truth of living in harmony with nature. Greed has become a driving force, causing a widespread destruction of the nature. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have disturbed enough, and violated this law of harmony. Finally, the death and destruction is on us, as knocking at the door, in the form of Karuna or war. But now, Mother's favorite season has come. This is the auspicious season to wake up the Mother. We call on her for protection. We are welcoming her with a heart filled with anguish and devotion. We fervently seek her protection. Vivye smita vinitavashisha jantoho swaste smita matimativa shivam dadasi darijya dukha vadanya sarvopakara karanaya sadata. Oh Mother, please forgive us for our mistakes. We are only ignorant children. Oh Mother, please protect us. Show your compassionate face once again. So this is a prayer for all of you, for all of us. Let us invoke Mother and call for her protection. As if that is Mother's blessings. Amen.
This is in the temple in Santa Barbara. It's an award-winning temple. Santa Barbara is a really beautiful part of California. And it's one of my favorite Vedanta centers in the whole order. It's blessed. And these nuns, they look after it spick and span. Big gardens there too.
Good morning. Greetings from Santa Barbara, California. It's now the joyful time of Durga Puja. It's a great time of celebration. But this year, 2020, is a strange year indeed. This year, California, where I live, became the new Australia because we had our own devastating fires. And we had people and animals running for their lives from the flames. And we saw huge forests being devoured in seconds by the encroaching flames. It's been terrifying to watch. And this is all on top of this global pandemic, this COVID-19, and every single person on the planet is living in the presence of an invisible killer whose presence affects nearly every area of our life today. Nevertheless, it is the season of the Mother. And during this holy time, many of us like to listen to, chant, or read the Chandi, this magnificent hymn to the Divine Mother, the Devi Mahatmya. And the Chandi praises her benevolent and gentle aspects, as well as her fierce and terrible aspects. Now, these terrible, fierce aspects seem particularly appropriate right now because it is a difficult time to be on the planet. In the Chandi's 5th chapter, the Divine Mother is praised by saying, Rodrayai namo nityayai goriyai tatrai namo namaha. The verse starts, salutations to her who is terrible. We are seeing the terrible now, and it can be terrifying, but we are making our salutations to her. Swami Vivekananda said, worship the terrible. You know, I don't really want to. None of us really want to. It's because it's not what we really want to hear about. We'd rather hear something really upbeat, something cheerful, something sweet and safe that make us feel good. But Sister Nivedita said in her lecture on Kali, which she gave in Kolkata in 1896, she said, no betrayal of truth is so terrible as that of choosing what is beautiful and easy and soft to be believed and worshipped. Let us worship just as willingly the terrible, the ugly, the hard. Well, that's what we got right now. But it is all the Divine Mother, because nothing is outside of the Divine Mother's realm. The Chandi says the Divine Mother is embodied as the universe. So whatever we see, touch, smell, feel, experience, all of it is the Divine Mother. The Chandi said by her, all this is pervaded. You know, we don't like the fact that the universe comes in pairs of opposites. For every joy we experience, there will be pain. For every birth, there will inevitably be a death. For every gain, a loss is right around that corner. No, we have no problem at all with joy, success, happiness. We expect it. We think that's just dandy. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's what we like. But when we experience pain, grief, fear, then we need help. Then we ask the Divine Mother to please come to our aid and to please be our protection, to be with us, to support us, to help us. You know, a kitten doesn't question where her mother cat puts her. The mother cat can put her in the garage, or she can put her outside in the hollow of a tree or in a clump of ashes. Kitten knows better than to question the mother. You know what? We can do the same thing. As devotees of the mother, we know we are nurtured, guided, and protected by the Divine Mother. Whether we are aware of it or not, we're being held by her. We're being supported by her through everything, through it all. Mother Durga is the protectress of the entire universe. What to speak of our little places on the planet? She's the protectress of the universe, and our Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi, is a manifestation of the Jagadhatri Durga. She is the supporter of the universe. So I think we can feel safe about being supported and protected by her. That's who she is. So we know that our Mother, Holy Mother, and Mother Durga are protecting and guiding us through everything with infinite love and infinite tenderness. The Chandi says in the 5th chapter, Durgayai, Durgaparayai, Sarayai, Sarvakarinyai, Kyatyai Tataiva Krishnayai, Dumrayai, Satatam Namaha. Salutations always to Durga, who takes us through difficulties, who is the creator and the indwelling essence of all. I pray that Mother Durga bless us all and fill our hearts with her loving presence and with her strength. Jai Ma. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
प्रणतानां प्रसीदत्वं देवी विश्वार्थिहारिणि त्रैलोक्यवासिनामीड्ये लोकानां वरदा भव. O Devi, you who remove the afflictions of the universe, be gracious to us who have bowed to you. O you, worthy to be adored by the dwellers of the 3 worlds, be boon giver to the worlds. Divine Mother Durga is here with us now. Since her last visit, so many things have happened to us. Here in New South Wales, we had the worst bushfire in a century, causing extensive damage to the properties and untold sufferings to those affected by it. Before we could recover from that came the coronavirus pandemic, which brought the whole world to its knees. People are even now mostly confined to their homes, prevented from traveling and mixing with others. Celebrations with large crowds are completely out of question. So it is natural that we feel upset, depressed, and ask God why. If we believe that everything comes from God, a gift from God, to serve His purpose, then we have to accept the fact that we are in this present situation for a purpose. Only we don't know what the purpose is. The Devi Suktam of the Rigveda says, Aham Rudrebhir Vasubhistaram Yaham Aditye Ruda Vishwadevaihi. I move the cosmic forces of vitality and wealth. I sustain the cosmic forces of water, light. I am the center of energy, light, and life given by the sun, air, fire, and all the beneficial cosmic forces. We, in our ignorance and greed, violate the cosmic order, Rita. We misuse the energy, light, and energy, life, and life, forgetting that we are thereby hurting the Divine Mother, who is the center of all energy, light, and life. We are so occupied with our immediate self-gratification that we ignore and harm the other children of the Divine Mother, the environment, the animals, plants, and other human beings. So she is frowning on us, asking us to cut down our lifestyle of selfish consumeristic enjoyments, to slow down and be more inward looking. The Divine Mother is called the Mahamaya, the Great Delusion. The entire universe of moving and unmoving is kept under delusion by her. So we busy ourselves with our toys of name and fame, family and friends, wealth and position. Like children who cry out when their toys are broken or snatched away, we are crying out because of the present calamity. The mother is silently telling us, I am here. Why don't you come to me instead of running after toys? Foolish children, why don't you hold my hand with one of your hands and play your silly games with the other? The Devi Suktam says, I am the mother. Through my power, all creatures breathe, eat, see, and hear. Even if they do not know, they dwell in my love. I am in them. They are in me. The Divine Mother is ever ready to protect her children in all calamities they find themselves in. She is waiting patiently, ready to stretch her hand to help us if we only turn to her. The Divine Mother is very, very compassionate. The Chandi says, Durge smrida harase bhidim ashesha jando swastha smrida matimadiva shubham dadasi daridya dukha bhayaharini katvadanya sarvopakara karanaya sadadra chitta. When called to mind in difficulties, you remove fear for every person. When remembered by those in happiness, you bestow a mind still more pious. Which goddess but you, O dispeller of poverty, pain, and fear, has an ever sympathetic heart for helping everyone? Holy Mother has been referred to by Swami Vivekananda as the living Durga. Holy Mother gives us this assurance when she says, never fear. Whenever you are in distress, just say to yourself, I have a mother. What a great assurance she has given. Whenever you are in distress, just say to yourself, I have a mother. All we have to do is just remember that and call on Mother. May Mother protect us all.
We got 3 messages from our senior nuns, and the focuses on the same idea that everything comes from the God. And the very idea of God is basically is a mix of both goods and bads, sufferings and pleasures. So in the first case from Pravrajika Atandraprana, she says that we are in the present age of confusion. So therefore, it is very important that we should highlight on the role of compassion, love, and protection. Message from Pravrajika Vrajaprana, which is again started with the terrible aspect of California fire, ongoing fire. She again talks about the mixed of the terrible aspect of mother and also the pleasant aspect. So therefore, same idea that we must not only look at the horrible, ugly aspect of the nature, but also happiness and success of the aspects of the nature. Finally, Pravrajika Gayatriprana brought the same idea. She said that if everything comes from God, if everything comes from God, if we accept that idea, then we have to go through both the sufferings and pleasures, which is basically nothing but the cosmic order. So therefore, her advice to all of us was try to be more inward looking. Let me now request Pravrajika Sridharaprana ji for her main talk today on Divine Mother from many to one.
या चण्डी मधुकैटभारिदैत्यदलनी या माहिषोन्मूलिनी या धूम्रेक्षणचण्डमुण्डमथनी या रक्तबीजाशनी शक्तिशुम्भनिशुम्भदैत्यदलनी या सिद्धिदात्री परा सा देवी नवकोटिमूर्तिसहिता मां पातु विश्वेश्वरी. She who vanquished the demons like Madhu Kaitava, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chandamunda, Raktabija, and who destroyed the Shumbha and Nishubha. May that supreme goddess, the empress of the universe, who fulfills the results of sincere efforts of the aspirants, and who is attended by the host of divinities, may she nourish us. A lot of things have been told about the Divine Mother's nature and the sufferings we are going through. Let's focus a little bit different. The Chandi is a wonderful book which describes the Divine Mother. It's the best book for us, ordinary people like you and me. And a bit I will go into the book. The book is divided into 3 parts. You know, in Vedanta, there is something called as Granthi, knots. There are 3 knots in us. Our psychophysical organism has this. The one knot means the spirit and the matter. Somewhere it gets mixed up. At the physical level with the body, at the emotional level in the heart, and in the eyebrow with the intellect. So this is called as Brahmaganti. That is, Brahma is the creator. Everything all pertaining to the creation, to the body, lower part of the body is for Brahma. Then the emotions come, values come, good and bad, both of course. So that is Vishnu, the god of love. And finally, knowledge, Rudra, Shiva, the very embodiment, Dakshinamurti. So these are the three. The first important thing is first we have to get rid of this identification with our body, which is the root cause of all miseries. So let's try to know what it speaks of. There's a story book. We human beings generally do not turn within unless we get blows. Blows are very necessary. Even the Upanishads says. Upanishads gives the story of the two birds. The lower bird keeps on eating good and bad, good and bad. When it eats good fruits, very happy. And when it eats bitter, then it looks up. Oh, that's a nice, calm bird there. Again forgets, eats the bit of sweet fruits. So this is how it goes on. So blows are part. It's the nature strategy to bring back the many to one, the divine one. So it starts with two people who had blows in their life. One, a king, a very noble king. And just see the beautiful name, Suratha. In the Upanishads, the human body is called as Ratha. You know, it's a chariot imagery you have in the Kathopanishad. So here also, Suratha means what? Beautiful body? No. The body that is disciplined, the psychophysical organism is disciplined. Nothing is indulged to beyond the limit. Everything is done in the limit. The king was a very good person who looked upon his subjects as his own. That itself shows. There are dictators who ruin, who kill their own country people. We have seen this. All these years we have been seeing the countries how they. So that means if a king is looking after the subjects as his own children, that means he is really a evolved person. He is spiritually advanced. And there is another person who also had blows in life, and he was called as Vaishya, the merchant, by name Samadhi. Samadhi can also be considered even meditation. In a general way, meditation is considered as Samadhi. You can use word Samadhi for meditation. That means to say an aspirant who has disciplined his sense organs, mind and intellect, coupled with meditation. When that aspirant gets the blow, he or she turns inward, puts existential questions. Why am I going through all this? What's the power that is happening? We seek someone. Can you explain to me? That's how. This going inward is this king and the merchant, they run away to the forest. Because first, I have to save myself. If I save myself, there is some chance for me to work out. Like the king, his country was annexed and he had enemies within the country also. So, trouble within, trouble without. So, the best thing is first run away, save yourself, and then be equipped with strength, then come back and conquer back, take back your kingdom. So, that is why the person ran away. And this merchant also was ill-treated. He was by his own wife and children. See, even those days, things happen. So you cannot trust. So they had appropriated all his wealth and thrown him out. So poor man, he took him, and both are in the same boat. So naturally they become friendly. Oh, when they talk, they find out after going through all this struggle, still their minds are attached to the family, to the country, to the kingdom. Why is this attachment? Why? We know. So, in the forest, that means to say the place where sages live. So they came to the sage, and what a beautiful name of the sage, Medhas Rishi. That is one who is established in wisdom. So, like a guru, they came to him and they asked, why is this happening? What's wrong with this? We know this It's paining, but still, Swamiji speaking about in his lecture on Maya, he says, we take up enterprises, we put all our energy, wealth, everything, and it might be a failure, and we know it. It is a failure. Any further involvement in it is painful, but still we can't give. Why? This is Maya, Swamiji says. So these two go and ask the why is this happening? Sir, can you explain? We have got this question. So can you tell me why this is happening? Then he says, this is how. This is the play of Maya. Wherever there is duality, good and bad, happiness and miseries, these are all that. This is the power of Mother Divine Mother. When she's propitious, she makes everything for you. You get holy company, you get a teacher who can teach you, and she gives you the mind to turn inward and make a progress in your evolution. But at the same time, if she doesn't want, she can drag. Saisha prasanna drinam bhavati muktaye. If she is happy, she will give. So naturally, he asks, who is this goddess? Who is she about whom you are speaking? So the Rishi says, Nityaiva sa jaganmurti saya sarvam idam tatam tathapi samutpatir bahuda shuyatama. She is eternal. Before that, he says, both of them, they say, when they spoke about that, we know that this suffering is there. So they make too much of their knowledge, like how we human beings make too much of our knowledge, but nothing is happening. Still, coronavirus vaccine has not been found. Such great scientists we have in this. Now, I'm not saying, so don't make too much of your knowledge. Try to understand your limitations. Accept it. That is what is important in life. We know we have our limitations and recognize it. So, he says, knowledge you are speaking, everyone has. Even the animals have knowledge. Human beings also share the same knowledge. Ahar, nidra, maithun. Hunger, thirst, sleep, and reproduction. These are part of all the creation. We share this knowledge. But you will be called as human beings only when you go beyond this. Try to understand something which is beyond. So this is why he says, every creature has, but to understand this difference, the animals identify themselves with the body and they suffer. But human beings are endowed, nature has endowed with them special gift which they can stand aside and look upon it as an object. This faculty, if we do not improve, cultivate, then we are nothing but animals. We are still in that level. That is why. And this Divine Mother, when she is not happy or she's this energy is such a strong thing, it drags even the men of wisdom. Even people who are established in wisdom, she drags them and puts them into a whirlpool of delusion. Let's not take it in a very gross sense. Even Jnani, take for example, people like Swamiji, men of knowledge, he wants to immerse himself in samadhi. No, there are so many obstacles dragging him away from that spiritual oneness and making him to do the work of Jagat Hita. He could have established himself in samadhi. He was a person of samadhi. He could have stayed in it. No, Mahamaya drags him every time he tries to meditate and be immersed in samadhi. No, something or the other obstacle comes and he is brought back, and Mother is making. Why I'm saying Moha, Swamiji himself says, when he went to Kshir Bhavani, he saw the Divine Mother's temple ruined by the barbarians. He said, how could this happen? Why didn't people offer resistance and protect the Mother's temple? If I was there with the blood of my heart, I would have fought and protected the mother's temple. Then he heard as clear as you are hearing me. She said, my child, are you going to protect me or am I to protect you? Do you think if I wish I cannot have 7-floor golden temple? I love to be like this. So I am. Then a realization dawned upon Swamiji that all this doing good, whatever it is, however flowery it might be, however wonderful the idea might be, is nothing. Mother alone does. She alone does her own work. Tomar karma, tumi korma. Loke bole kore kami. You do your work, mother. People only say that I am doing. And oh, Swami Vivekananda has done wonderful. He knows. Not he, but she. So this type of thought comes when we have our spiritual deep, when we go into within ourselves. And then when she asks, then the merchant and the king asks, the Rishi says, the Divine Mother has even deluded Vishnu, what to speak of ordinary human being as. So there's a story is that Vishnu, he is the god of maintenance. He looks after sustenance. He looks after us. So when the cycle is over, pack up everything, spread the bed, and go to bed. So that's what he was doing, mystic slumber. And what is that he is spreading? He says, Astiya Shesha Abhajat. Shesha means, one meaning is snake. He is sleeping on the bed of snake. The other is Shesha means residue. Residue of all the karmas of the creation. Sri Ramakrishna gives a wonderful example. The grandmother has in her pot all the seeds of the future creation. So when she wants, she uses. So like that, the future creation, the next creation, what's going to happen? All those karmas, spread it, that is agami, future karma. Future karma. He puts and he goes into deep absorption, mystical sleep. At that time, two demons, Vishnu Karna Manudbhutau, Vishnu Karna. Vishnu Karna means from the ears of Vishnu, from the dirt of Vishnu's ears, two demons came. Dirt. Is Vishnu such a dirty fellow that from his ears dirt comes? No. Dirt means, you see, when the glass is clean, it reflects. But when a lot of dust is there in this windows and all, you can see, you just even can't even see. So that's avarana, the veiling power. That's covered. That part of consciousness in which the universe is reflected is called Vishnu. Vishnu is all-pervading consciousness. In it, the world is reflected. And when that consciousness has taken back and he in deep slumber, at that time, these two demons come out. These two, Madhu and Kaitaba. These are the two primal samskaras which have come out from the infinite consciousness. The Upanishad says, I am alone. May I be many. May I enjoy multiplicity. Enjoyment and multiplicity. Not just enjoyment, multiplicity of enjoyment. Look at us. How many types of touch? Soft, medium, rough cloth, so many. Food, there's no end at all. Smell, so many scents. Not just one or two, many. All the five senses have varied things of enjoyments. So this is how this Madhu and Kaitaba. Madhu means joy, and Kaitaba, Kitavat Bhati, Kitaba, Tasya Bhavaha, Kaitaba. You know the insects? Insects don't stay 1, 2, you can't see. They come in herd, all together. You can see them. Lots of insects come together. That's how they express. So when you see an insect, there so many will come. So Kaitaba is like the two manifold samskaras. So they want to come. Here, the individual consciousness, when we start meditating and trying to go deep in, that is the Brahma. Have you seen the picture of Vishnu lying on the snake, and from his navel a lotus comes and Brahma is seated? That Brahma is compared to our mind. So the Brahma, poor Brahma, is meditating. Very difficult to meditate. Somehow he's trying to go a little bit deep. Like how when we go, we try our best to go. At that time, these two samskaras will come. Don't want to sit. Let's go out. Let's go and enjoy. Let's go to a plaza and see people. Can't sit at home quietly. Go around and see. So these two samskaras are trying to overpower. So these two demons, when they came out, they didn't see anything else. They only saw Brahma there. Immediately they started running towards him to kill him. That is to overpower him, to overpower our mind in our individual country. There is two ways of explaining this. One at the cosmic level, at the individual level. As sadhakas, how are we interpreting this episode? And then the mind says the intellect is completely drowned. You know, the intellect is the only help for us to reason what is good, what is bad, to fight against our evil tendencies. But if that intellect has become drowned in tamas, what help do we have? Immediately, all we can do is catch hold of the Divine Mother. There's a song, beautiful song of Holy Mother. When the Shadaripus become strong, then hold on to Mother's feet and cry, "Oh Mother, protect me, protect me." We sing shit in Holy Mother's song. It's a beautiful song, I forgot. Anyway, so Brahma, you see, he's overpowered by these two demons. Our minds are overpowered by these two samskaras. Then we take refuge in the Divine Mother. Then the Divine Mother, she is pleased with the prayer or the hymn of Brahma. It's quite a big stuff. It's a very beautiful hymn, but it will take a long time. I'm not going through that. Brahma says two things. First, delude these two demons and then wake up Vishnu, who is slumbering, waking up so that he can kill the two demons. So the Divine Mother, after hearing Brahma's hymn, she moved herself. She had pervaded Vishnu because that is deep slumber he was in. When he is in the power of Divine Mother, he can't even move the finger. That's the condition. Only when the power activates, then Vishnu gets up. The hymn says she just got out from the ears, eyes, nose, heart, from the shoulders. Then he became active. Just a little digression. When we were young brahmacharis in Calcutta, it's very hot, even early morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock is very sultry, like you just can't, you can feel it, you feel drowsy. So I used to always sleep. I couldn't even do japa properly. And one day, one of our sisters told me, "You sing this, you chant this, Tvam Swaha, Tvam Swadha," like how the Divine Mother left the eyes and ears and everything of Vishnu and she activated him. So the Divine Mother will help you, and so you will be able to do your practice, your japa and meditation. So this is a very good prayer of awakening our inner consciousness. So when the Divine Mother left Vishnu or awakened him, woke him up, then Vishnu got up, and then he saw that these two demons are going to overpower Brahma, and so he fought with them. Fought with what? What weapon? No. The two hands. With his two hands, for a long time, He says Panchavarsha Sahasrani for 5,000 years, means for a long time. That's what happens. What are the two hands? In our case, Abhyasa and Vairagya. These are the two hands. Patanjali says, for a long time, for a considerable time, the root of two samskaras. See, the thing is, these two demons are very strong. Very strong. Why? They came from the universal consciousness. The universal consciousness said, I want to be many. So may I be many. So these two samskaras came from the universal consciousness. As such, it's very strong. But people like you and me, we want to go back to oneness. We don't want multiplicity. We want to go back. Mother, we want to go back to you, come back to your arms. So that type of vasana, that type of samskaras is in which mind? Flimsy mind like us, like mine and you. So naturally, our samskaras are very weak. The samskaras which got up from the universal mind is strong. So as such, it's very difficult for us to fight this outgoing tendencies of the mind. For a long time, we have to fight with the help of Abhyasa and Vairagya. That also is not enough. We have to pray to the mother. Sri Ramakrishna has taught us, O mother, may I not be bewitched by the world bewitching Maya. But it is here, the Divine Mother bewitches. She bewitches them. For 5,000 years when Vishnu fights, then suddenly what the Divine Mother understands, no, it's not possible for Vishnu to do this. Okay, let me help him. And she bewitches these two demons. That means these two demons are overpowered by the Divine Mother, not the world, not world bewitching Maya, by the Divine Mother herself. Then they understand, goodness gracious, we have been fooled, we have been bewitched. Why did we come from that oneness, that Bhumananda, infinite bliss? We have deviated ourselves and come so far. How am I to go back? There's only one way to go back. That is, we should get established in reason, in buddhi. That is Vishnu, that universal consciousness. So they come to Vishnu. We are very much pleased with your fight. You ask a boon of us. That is the samskaras going and taking refuge in buddhi, the pure mind. Then Vishnu says, what else do I want? I want to kill you people. So that's the only thing I want right now, nothing else. Then the demons see everywhere causal water. Causal water, that is cause and effect. Everything is there, still multiplicity in the form of waves. If they are killed there, it's no use. You have to be established in the buddhi. So they say, take us where there is no water, you kill us there. So naturally, Vishnu has to take them on his lap and cut their heads. That means getting established in the buddhi and merging these two primal samskaras in the buddhi is the episode of this Madhu Kaithaba Vadha. And that was done only by the grace of Divine Mother. So on this holy day, we pray to the Divine Mother. Let us not sit and cry, Corona, Corona, Corona. Let us go back to the oneness which is Divine Mother. May she give us the strength to overcome the duality, these varied experiences. Let's not go behind that. May we go to the source who is a Divine Mother. May she bless us all with pure intelligence.
Thank you. Well, Pravrajika Gayatriprana left me in a crisis. In a crisis. So the title was Divine Mother from Many to One. I was thinking last night what could be the talk, and I didn't realize that her talk would be in this, piece of work. So I was thinking that I thought that perhaps Sridharaprana ji will be talking us that how Mother Durga was created by taking the different parts of different devis, and then the Durga will be created. So that's why I thought from many to one. And I thought perhaps I will try to close the loop by taking the other way around, from one to many. So what I had come up with that idea, just I will share with you a little bit, but not much. So as you all know, the Durga, or in Bengali called Durga, fortress. So one of the meanings of the word Durga is fortress in Sanskrit. When called upon, the goddess Durga, I hope that we all the human beings would be trying to pray her how to cross the insurmountable paths in our daily life. That means fort, which is Durga. The celebration of Durga worship reminds us of the fortress we all carry within ourselves. We need to strongly feel that her profound grace is always here and now with all of us. When we need to fortify the storm we face within our daily life, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual boundaries, consisting of these different boundaries. We should all pray to the Mother Durga that she would show us the way of how to work with whatever we are facing, from her safe fortress of protection, trust, fearlessness, and freedom. In the mythology, Mother Durga has been described as the center within the storm, and her great fight for its stop of storm. In our material and spiritual worlds, where the storm is so much of injustice, destruction, and egotism, we also need to fight for their stop both externally and internally. Let us pray for the grace and help so that we can all find a place of refuge and stillness from which we can act more consciously, conscientiously, and compassionately in our daily life, both within family and society. We all need Mother Durga more than ever, and thus arises the greater significance of the other concept which I was thinking of, from one to many, from Durga to all ourselves. Should I conclude? Let me conclude today's program by thanking you all, the participants, as well as the audience, both physically who are present here and virtually who are listening to our YouTube. Our special thanks goes to Madhu Sen and her entire troupe of 50 talented artists for their year-long hard work and artistic acumen in all the areas of the video presentation. By the way, for your virtual access to the whole program, it has been uploaded in the Vedanta Society of New South Wales YouTube channel. Finally, we are also very grateful to our society's president, Pravrajika Gayatriprana, and its multi-skilled, dedicated soul, Robert Grant, for their very thoughtful organization of the entire event. Once again, our sincere thanks to you all. Please join us to share the offered sweets and cereals. And Robert might have some announcement to make.
Yes, as you see, we'll be concluding with a flower offering ceremony to Mother Durga. And just some quick announcements about our regular activities coming up this week. We have the monthly Vedanta Book Club meeting. That is the one that's held via Zoom only, and that's on this coming Wednesday evening from 7:30. You're always welcome to join in for that. We have the weekly yoga class on Thursday morning from 10 to 11:15 a.m. And next Friday, we'll have the fortnightly spiritual evening discussion led by Gayatriprana from 7 p.m. here in Vedanta Hall with the silent meditation, and via Zoom from 7:30 p.m. Next Sunday, we'll have the monthly talk on Raja Yoga by Gayatriprana and questions and answers led by Dilip Datta. And as Dilip just mentioned, I'm the multi-skilled fellow, it seems, but I've been held captive by YouTube this morning. It dropped out a couple of times. But the good news is, with a little bit of organizing, in our YouTube channel, there'll be two programs. One will be the full Temple of Arts, beautiful video presentation, and all the messages and the talks, that'll be a separate item in our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to get the whole lot in two goes on YouTube. We've got a donation plate there, donation box up the back, and now I won't hold things up. We'll have the flower offering ceremony, and I'll swing the camera around so you people on YouTube can watch.
Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shiva Kshama Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Om Hrim Esha Sachandana Pushpavilya Patranjali Dakshayajna Vinashinyai Mahaghoraye Yogini Koti Parivritaye Bhadrakalye Srimad Bhagavat Durgaye Vaushat. Kali the serene, the compassionate, who wears the garland of all our evil deeds. Durga, the savior, patience incarnate, the great sustaining mother, all that is pure, pious, and sacred art thou. O Mother, my salutations unto thee. Today, please be gracious enough to accept this offering of mine, an offering of flowers smeared with sandalwood, the offering of my heart. Om, victory to Durga. Om Sarvamangalamangallye Shive
सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते सृष्टिस्थिति विनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातने गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणी नमोस्तुते शरणागतदीनाथ परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते